Hello everyone and welcome to another video. In this video we are going to do one case study question that is from the chapter 2 Polynomials class 10. So the case says just before the morning assembly a teacher of kindergarten school observes some clouds in the sky and so she cancels the assembly. She also observes that the clouds has a shape of a polynomial. The mathematical representation of the cloud is shown in the figure. Now in the first question it says find the zeros of the polynomial represented by the graph, and these are the options given over here. So what are the zeros of the polynomial represented by the graph? Zeros of the polynomial is the x coordinate of the point where the graph intersects the x-axis. As you can see that the graph is intersecting the x-axis, one at this point, another at this point, and their x coordinate is what? Minus 3.5 and positive 0.5. So what you can say, this is minus 3.5 and 0.5 are the zeros of the polynomial. But then we have to write in fraction. This is what? Negative 7 over 2 and the other one is half. So yes, we have an option that is B is the correct option in this case. In the second question, it says what will be the expression for the polynomial represented by the graph, and these are the options given over here. Now to find the expression for the polynomial represented by the graph, we are going to use this relation, that is expression for a polynomial is what? X square minus sum of the zeros times x plus the product of the zeros. So clearly we have to find this sum and the product, and what were the zeros we obtained? One was minus 7 over 2 and the other as positive 1 by 2. So what will be the sum of the zeros? Sum of the zeros will be alpha plus beta. So adding these two is what? Minus 6 over 2, which is minus 3, and the product of the zeros is what? Product of this is minus 7 over 4. Now once we got this sum and the product, we are going to simply plug in these values. This is x square minus sum of the zeros is minus 3, so minus 3 times x plus product of the zeros is negative 7 over 4, so we'll be writing plus minus is minus as this 7 over 4. Next we can take LCM over here, so it comes out to be 4 times x square, and this will give you positive, and 7 in 3 into 4 is how much? 12. So this is 12 times x minus 7. Now when you check the answer, it does not matches with any of them. Like this is closer, but then there is a this is negative, and over here the option is positive. So what you are going to do is to take minus common from here. If I do so, if I take minus common from this part, what we are going to get is minus k times this is negative 4x square, negative 12x and positive 7. Now as I said, k can take any constant value, and now when you compare the answer, yes, it is same as the option D here, that is negative 4x square, negative 12x plus 7. So we'll say that D is the correct option in this case. In the third part, it says what will be the value of the polynomial represented by the graph when x is equal to 3. Now in order to find the value of the polynomial represented by the graph at x is equal to 3, what we are going to do is to write down the polynomial which we have obtained. So the polynomial in the previous class, previous part was represented by this expression, right? So what we are going to do here, since we have to obtain the polynomial at x is equal to 3, we are going to obtain P3. So replacing x with 3. So this is negative 4 times x square, that is 3 square, negative 12 times x, which is 3 here, plus 7. So this is negative 4, 3 square is 9, and 12 into 3 is 36 plus 7. So this is how much? 36 and 36 will give you minus 72 plus 7, that is negative 65. So yes, we have an option that is B is the correct option in this case. In the fourth part, it says if alpha and beta are the zeros of the polynomial fx is equal to x square plus 2x minus 8, then alpha raised to the power 4 plus beta raised to the power 4 is what we have to determine with the following options. Now to find the value of alpha raised to the power 4, beta raised to the power 4, we are going to use this identity. Well, this is derived identity and I suggest you should better learn it. So it can be written as alpha plus beta whole square minus 2 alpha beta raised to the power 2, that is whole raised to the power 2 minus 2 times alpha beta whole square. Now it's very clear that we need to find out the sum and the product from here. So let's first find out, write down what is A here. So A is a coefficient of x square, which is 1. What is B? B is the coefficient of x, which is clearly 2. And what is C is the constant term, which is minus 8. So what we are going to do first, we are going to obtain what is sum and the product. Sum, which is alpha plus beta, which is minus B over A. So what is B here? B is 2. So it's going to be minus 2 over 1. Minus 2 over 1 is minus 2 only. And similarly, if I find the product of the 0, which is C by A, and C is what? Minus 8. Minus 8 divided by 1 is minus 8. Now, once we have obtained the sum and the product, we are simply going to replace sum and product in this case. So let's see if I do over here. This is alpha raised to the power 4 plus beta raised to the power 4 is equal to, this is alpha plus beta whole square, that is minus 2 raised to the power 2 minus 2 times alpha beta. And what is alpha beta? Alpha beta is minus 8. So it's going to be minus 8 over here, that raised to the power this square. And finally we have minus 2 times alpha beta whole square. Well, alpha beta is minus 8, so it results to give you minus 8 whole square. Now continue to simplify this. This is what? Minus 2 square is 4. This is how much? This should give you positive 16, because minus 2 into minus 8. So this is positive 16. That raised to the power this square over here, minus 2 times, and what is minus 8 whole square? That is positive 64. So this is 4 plus 16 is what? 20, and 20 square is 400. This is 400 and this will be 128, right? So we are going to subtract 128 from 400. So 400 minus 128, whatever it comes, and that will come as what? 272, right? 272. So we can say that the value of this is how much? 272. Yes, this is option C is correct in this case. In the final, that is fifth part, it says find a quadratic polynomial where sum of the product of its zeros are 0 and under root 7 respectively, and we are given these as the options. So what we are given here, that the sum of the zeros of the polynomial is 0 and the product of the zeros is 7. So in order to frame the polynomial, what we are going to do, first of all, I'll write down the sum, which is alpha plus beta is given as 0, and the product of the zeros, which is alpha beta, and that is equal to under root 7. Now in order to frame the polynomial, we are going to write k times x square minus the sum of the zeros times x plus the product of the zeros. So this is k bracket x square minus, what is the sum of the zeros? It is 0. So it's 0 times x plus product of the 0, which is positive under root 7. So now this is k only, this is x square, and 0 times x is 0, so we won't write, and this is positive under root 7. So which is the correct option? A is the correct option in this case.